Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. If I lose my voice, I'm going to turn this thing over to the vice mayor. I hope that doesn't happen, not because I don't want him over here. And anyway, I'd like to call this meeting to order, and if we could stand, please, Councilman Hux will have our invocation and lead us in our pledge of allegiance.
Let us pray. Lord Jesus, we come to you tonight to express our gratitude for our veterans, our Veterans Day coming up next month. We're thankful for those over the centuries that have served and fought and sacrificed and given their freedom for those that, in so many cases, in particular for our veterans here tonight and those we serve with on council, Mayor Helsel, Vice Mayor Freeman, and Councilman Fye. We do appreciate their service and their sacrifice. And as public servants, please lead us to provide for our local government in a manner that honors their sacrifice and pleases you and glorifies your. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Damon. Just a couple of things before we go to our audience for visitors. I know we have some pickleball people here, and we're glad you're here. Let me just try to brief council and you before you speak on what's going on with pickleball. First of all, I received several emails and a couple of letters encouraging council to look seriously at the sport of pickleball. I didn't even know what pickleball was until our attorney told me that somewhere down in Florida he saw pickleball going on. I had no idea what it was. And so the city manager and I and Dave Callis visited the courts in York County. And so we know what they look like and we know what we need to do. We do currently have a couple of tennis courts that are not being used. And so that might be an answer for pickleball courts. I asked Keith early on, because he's, in terms of an expert on playgrounds and those kinds of things, I asked him to kind of look into it and see what he could find out about it. I'm sure he'll have something to say about it in a few minutes. You can expect probably some action from council. Randy and his team are going to meet, I think, Halloween. Is that correct? Okay. On Halloween, so we ought to be able to have have council either support it or not support it in December. Okay, so anyway, that's where we are. Randy, did I miss anything?
No, sir.
Okay, all right. So if there are folks, let me get these two folks first. Stephen DeWitt, did I get that right? All right, Stephen.
I'm Steve DeWitt. I'm a 40-plus year resident of Poquoson. I raised 4 kids here, and the opportunities for them, recreation for them, was great. They were all athletes. They all had a great time. But we could use a little bit more adult recreation. Looking at the Island Tide, the latest issue of it, there were like 4 items. One was a Tai Chi class, 2 were cooking classes, I really don't need that, and 1 was a firearm safety class. Nothing that will get your heart pumping. Well, do I have an opportunity for you? We should expand the program in Poquoson. It's the leading, it's the most popular sport across the nation. And what we would like to recommend is to convert one of the tennis courts on the city courts into 2 dedicated pickleball courts and resurface the rest of the area at the same time and make the other 2 courts dual purpose, like we have now with the lines painted on the tennis courts. It would require adding a fence to separate the pickleball from tennis courts and the 2 pickleball courts. But the area that we have there is ideal. They'll fit right in, and there'll be legal dimensions for us pickleball fanatics. The other important part is lighting. In order to get working adults the opportunity to use this resource, we really would need some lights. Nothing real fancy. You say you've looked at the York County facility that they just opened up. They have adequate lighting there. Some of the advantages to using the existing courts is that there's the additional properties there. There's parking. The perimeter fence is already in place, and Poquoson residents will stay here to play. And maybe some non-residents will even come in and play. We call ourselves the Poquoson Picklers. We started this fall with a few members. Now we're over 30, and I just noticed we added 2 more to the rolls today. We implemented the GroupMe app to help communicate and coordinate playing times. And we are an all-inclusive group for anyone to play, anyone who wants to learn to play. They can come out, and we'll open up our arms to them. Of course, we'd like to have, a stadium kind of atmosphere with bleachers and lights and, bathrooms and all that stuff. But let's be realistic. We really need some dedicated courts with lighting, and we've got the area to do it right now. Of course, in the future, we could think about other locations in the city. I know there's noise problems and things like that, but there's got to be some place in the city where we could make some more dedicated pickleball courts. One more option would be to expand the area that we have currently with the 3 tennis courts and make it about, I figure about another 30 foot of asphalt. We could get 6 pickleball courts and 2 tennis courts in there. So that might be an option to consider also. Anyway, appreciate your consideration. Thank you.
Yes, sir, thank you. Jan Donaldson? Ms. Donaldson?
Good evening.
Good evening.
I know many of you have received the letter that I sent you concerning my enthusiastic support for pickleball. Just a little background for if you haven't. In 2019, in the fall, I took the Parks and Rec Introduction to Pickleball, put on by the Parks and Rec, and was taught by Dave from the high school. We were all given a slab of wood, which was called a pickleball. I'd never even heard of it. I'm an enthusiastic tennis player, and fell in love with the sport. 2019 came around, and 5 of us in Poquoson decided, I got a call, and we went out and took blue electric tape and taped off the dimensions of the far city tennis court and began playing pickleball. Saved my sanity during the pandemic. It was a wonderful sport. Those 5 have now expanded, to more than 30. I'm also a very enthusiastic tennis player. I played this morning. And I am very aware of the situation with the high school and the overflow from the tennis courts in the high school to the city courts, the 3 city courts that the high school athletic department uses when there are large PE classes. I have gone from the far left tennis court to the far right tennis court when there are a couple of classes when the PE people need the court. So I'm very aware of the overflow. I was playing tennis this morning. Tomorrow I'll play pickleball. So my heart is in both courts. That's not a pun. And I'm here to enthusiastically support Steve, who is a wonderful member, brings his expertise from Florida because he's a snowbird, and went out and visited Back Creek this past week with Kathy Fye and just went, oh my goodness, wow, wow, wow. I also know in less than 2 weeks, we're about to go into daylight savings time, which will be pitch dark at 5 o'clock, and anybody who works can't play. Right now, we have an enthusiastic group of people who like to come out after work. We start at 4:30 or 5, but those days are numbered. We were at the Advisory Council for Parks and Rec, and I know money is tight. Steve has done a wonderful job with configuring at least one of the far left courts in the tennis court to 2 pickleball courts. The issue of lights was addressed by Parks and Rec about we used to have lights there. I've been living in Poquoson almost 30 years, and because I play tennis, I know we used to have lights there on the tennis court, but Isabel kind of wrecked all kinds of stuff. So I'm just here to lend my support and to invite anybody to come out to the pickleball courts. I also told the Parks and Recs people we would love to help them with clinics, more clinics to grow our numbers. So thank you for your time and your consideration. I also had children I raised here and went through all the sports programs. South Lawson Park is a wonderful facility for the youth. The question of lights came up as far as the lights on the baseball fields. We have I've been here for 3 renditions of Kids Island. The city has done a wonderful job of providing growth of sports for the youth, and I'm here to ask you to support the growth of sports for active older adults, and I think it would be a good thing for the city. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Donaldson. Appreciate it. Anyone else in the audience would like to address council on anything else? Any other issue? Okay, let's move on. We have our minutes to adopt from the regular session, September 25th, 2023.
Mr. Mayor, I move we adopt the minutes from regular section, September 25, 2023.
Okay.
Second.
All right, we have a motion made second that we approve the minutes from our regular session, September 25, 2023. Any concerns, comments, and conditions to that? Okay. We have a new clerk tonight, Ms. Christie. Ms. Christie?
Councilman Fye?
Aye.
Councilwoman Bunting?
Aye.
Councilwoman Emmett?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Freeman?
Aye.
Councilman Southall?
Aye.
Councilman Hux?
Aye.
Mayor Hessel?
Aye.
Mayor, the motion carried by a vote of 7-0.
All right, thank you, Christie. Let's go on to new business. Keith, I'm not ignoring you, but you're going to speak during the council
At the end?
at the end?
Yes.
Okay. I know you want to say something about pickleballs. You've done some work on it, we need to hear it. Okay, let's go on to new business. First item is an ordinance making additional appropriations for fiscal year 2024 for the general fund, FY '23 carryover funds for various departments. Ms. Terra.
Good evening, Mayor Helsel. and
Good evening.
Council members. Tonight for your consideration is an ordinance making additional appropriations for fiscal year 2024 for the general fund. And you can see on the memo, it's broken up kind of into 2 parts. We have the leftover funds from '23 and then additional revenue. So I'll walk through those. We are wrapping up the audit from FY '23 and that's going well. And the auditors should be back in December to present the audit to you. But these are leftover funds that we will restrict in the fund balance and then carry those forward. So the police department has $22,243 left for state asset forfeiture, national night out, recruitment and retention program, as well as community engagement. And the fire department has $124,477 for their state Four for Life, state fire fund, and Dominion REPP, which is their radiological emergency preparedness program. There is also $13,491, which is designated for street lights. There's $55,444 for opioid abatement and $17,414 related to a PCB settlement. Parks and Recreation Events has $1,800 for the 2023 Seafood Festival. Public Works received $16,530 from the Virginia Marine Resources Commission to remove abandoned vessels, which was just completed, but this is the rollover to pay for that. There is also $18,445 in unspent funds for necessary renovations to the community center and the library had 18,760 in unspent donations from '23. So that wraps up the '23 rollover. The new additional revenue for the fiscal year 2024, the library, once the Virginia General Assembly finished their work and the governor approved the budget, received the final state aid amount from the Library of Virginia, and an additional $32,852 needs to be appropriated and will be applied for the purchase of furniture in the library. The police department was awarded an additional $10,434 for the SRO incentive grant program, and the city received an additional $7,949 in direct distributions for the Virginia Opioid Abatement Authority for opioid abatement efforts. There is also $21,457 remaining in the Virginia Tourism Corporation grant, which must be spent by December 31st, 2023, for the Visit Poquoson.com website enhancements, economic development promotional videos, and support for Poquoson Museum events. And finally, the fire department received $6,000 in donations for extrication tools, and the library has received 782 additional donations. So with all of that, you have an ordinance to appropriate these funds, which totals $368,078 in the general fund budget for fiscal year 2024. And I would be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Doesn't get much better than that. Thank you. Keith?
No question on the, did they not get the boats moved in FY '23? Is that why we got moved?
Not in '23, they finished
That's
just
what I figured.
after.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions of Tara? Well done. How about a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I propose an ordinance making additional appropriations for fiscal year 2024 in the general fund.
Okay.
Second.
All right, motion made, second, that we adopt the ordinance. Any comments, concerns, any questions? Okay. Ms. Christie?
Vice Mayor Freeman.
Aye.
Councilwoman Emmett.
Aye.
Councilman Southall.
Aye.
Councilman Fye. Councilman Hutz.
Aye.
Councilwoman Bunting. Mayor Hessel.
Aye.
Mayor, the motion carried by a vote of 7-0.
Thanks, Christie. Let's go to the second item. It's a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with Continental Pools LLC for municipal pool plaster, coat, and repairs. Randy? I'm
Tara's
sorry.
gonna handle
Tara's
this one,
out there? Okay.
Me again. This is for consideration for a resolution to authorize the city manager to enter into a contract with Continental Pools LLC for pool plaster, coat, and repairs. In the original ordinance, 1695, on September 27th, 2021, City Council approved $185,000 for pool improvements. And this has been a process over time. We issued an initial RFP in May of 2022 and got no proposals. Then we issued it again and didn't get any proposals. So the third time was the charm. And in August 2023, we sought proposals again, of which we received 4 proposals from firms. The evaluation committee was formed and reviewed all of the proposals that we did receive. The committee interviewed 2 of the firms, completed reference checks, and recommended entering into a contract with Continental Pools LLC to complete this work. The total contract amount is recommended at $165,700, which includes the pool plaster coat repairs for $144,000, and then replacement of all skimmers and light bulbs in the pool for an additional $21,700. Therefore, you have an attached resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into this contract with Continental in the amount of $165,700 for the project. If it is approved, they would like to begin work in February, weather dependent, and then they would complete work in May before the pool would open for the season. And I would be happy to answer any questions you may
Hey,
have.
Tara, thanks a lot. I know, it's kind of a no-brainer. We have to fix the pool. It's got some issues, and I think Randy and Tara have done a great job.
Tara's done a great job.
Tara's done a great job. All right, no questions? Thank you, Tara. Need a motion to adopt the resolution.
Mr. Mayor, I propose a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with Continental Pools LLC.
Okay?
Second.
All right, I have a motion made and second that we adopt the resolution. Any concerns, comments, any questions? If not, Ms. Christie.
Councilman Hux.
Aye.
Councilman Southall.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Freeman.
Aye.
Councilwoman Emmett.
Aye.
Councilwoman Bunting.
Aye.
Councilman Fye,
Aye.
Mayor Hessel.
Aye.
Mayor, the motion carried by a vote of 7-0.
Okay, thanks, Chris. Move on to item 3. It's an ordinance for fiscal year 2024, general fund, Virginia State Police, help eliminate auto theft grant. I'm not sure I know what HEAT is, but anyway, the chief will explain that to us. It's a grant for the police department. Chief?
Good evening, Mayor.
Good evening.
The Virginia State Police Help Eliminate Auto Theft Program is a long-standing partnership between the state police and local law enforcement across the state for the sole purpose of reducing and eliminating the crime of auto theft. In years gone by, it was a very hot item. Cars disappearing and being resold, and VIN numbers changed, and so this program came about, and it's been going on for a lot of years. Very successful program. This year, State Police announced a grant program, a mini grant program for local law enforcement to provide up to $12,500 per locality to assist in acquisition of technology that can reduce or help solve the crimes of auto theft. So earlier this year, we made application to receive funding through the program to help offset the cost of acquiring the flock safety camera system. And on September 6th, the state police notified us that the HEAT program award of $10,950 had been awarded to us for fiscal year 24. And that amount covers the acquisition and installation first-year subscription for the flock camera system for the city of Poquoson. So before you is an ordinance authorizing the manager to receive and appropriate these funds in fiscal 24.
Okay, thank you, sir. Any questions of the chief? Okay, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Quick thing. I
Yes,
just
sir.
wanted to note that this was something we were planning to do anyway, and through the diligence of the police department, we got the grant funds so that there are no local funds, and this is part of the implementation.
Yeah. Okay, we have an ordinance. Someone, I don't know what
I'm
that is.
sorry.
It's not me.
Yeah, it's me.
All right, let's do the ordinance, and we'll
Okay.
deal with the phone.
Mr. Mayor, I propose an ordinance authorizing the city manager to accept the Virginia State Police Help Eliminate Auto Theft Grant and making additional appropriations for fiscal year 2024 general fund.
Second?
All right, motion made second that we adopt the ordinance. So there are any concerns, any questions, any comments? If not, we need a motion. Sorry, we had a motion. I'm looking for a second. I'm sorry.
Got a
I
second.
got one of those too? Okay. I was listening to the phone. That's probably your wife telling you she's not gonna fix you any dinner. Okay, Christie.
All right, Councilman Southall,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Freeman,
Aye.
Councilman Hutt,
Aye.
Councilwoman Bunting,
Aye.
Councilman Fye,
Aye.
Councilwoman Emmett,
Aye.
Mayor Hessel.
Aye.
Mayor, the motion carried by a vote of
All
7
right,
to 0.
thanks, Christie. Let's move to item 4. It's an ordinance for fiscal year 2024 for general fund, Bureau of Justice Assistant Patrick Leahy Bulletproof Vest Partnership Grant Funding. Chief?
Good evening again. The Patrick Leahy Bulletproof Vest Partnership is a program administered by the Department of Justice, Office of Justice Programs, Bureau of Justice Assistance. They try to put the whole federal alphabet into that one. And it reimburses states, units of local government, federally recognized Indian tribes for up to 50% of the cost of body armor vest purchased for law enforcement officers. Earlier this year, we made application to receive funding through this program to offset the cost of providing all of our sworn officers with National Institute of Justice certified ballistic vests. On September 29th, we were notified by the Bureau of Justice Assistance of an award of $875.44 in federal fiscal year 23 funds. We have a program where we issue our officers bulletproof vests, prior to me coming here. But it's a very vital safety tool for our officers to keep them safe in the performance of their duties. This grant will we have to replace them about every 5 years, and so it's an ongoing expense per officer. as well as buying them when we hire new officers. So this will help offset that cost for those vests by 50%, further extending the local dollar by supplementing it with federal funds.
Okay, great job. Any questions of the chief?
How many vests can we get with that?
This one will cover approximately 16 vests.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, thanks, chief. All right, we have an ordinance. I need a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I propose an ordinance authorizing the city manager to accept the Patrick Lee Bulletproof Vest Partnership Grant and making additional appropriations for fiscal year 2024 for the general fund.
All right,
Second.
all right, we have a motion made second. We adopt the ordinance. Any other questions or concerns? Any comments? If not, Ms. Christie?
Councilwoman Bunting?
Aye.
Councilman Fye?
Aye.
Councilman Southall?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Freeman?
Aye.
Councilman Hux?
Aye.
Councilwoman Emmett?
Aye.
Mayor Hessel?
Aye.
Mayor, the motion carried by a vote of 7-0.
Okay, thanks, Christie. All right, let's move on, excuse me, item 5 is a resolution to adopt the 2023 updated emergency operations plan for the city of Poquoson. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor.
Good to see you.
Council. Thank you. The city manager and assistant manager asked that I just briefly introduce myself. I've met most of y'all, but as you can tell, you can hear I'm not from around here. Originally from South Carolina, grew up there, worked different places across the country, and found my way to Poquoson, Virginia. And it's a great place. I deem it a privilege and honor to be here, and I appreciate the staff taking a chance on me and pulling somebody from the outside. A lot of my time spent, obviously, in the fire service. I have spent, some time up City Hall, both federal and local government. So that's just a little brief interview, of a snapshot of what I do and how I got here. So before you is a request, a staff request that y'all adopt and the 2023 Emergency Operations Plan by state, with the Commonwealth. They require that it be updated every 4 years. We're proposing to add a general pandemic annex to this. There's already an annex in the current Emergency Operations Plan for H1N1, basically the flu. But this one covers any other pandemics, the C word that we just come out of, and anything else that comes up. So we wanted to tailor that to be a little bit more specific, or not as specific to the flu, but more generic to anything else. And we do have a resolution before you for that. And I'll entertain any questions.
Any questions of the chief?
Yes, sir.
It's a silly question. In there, it talks about the trigger being either outside the CONUS, inside the CONUS. In Virginia, it says in Hampton Roads, but they don't define Hampton Roads. I can only assume it's the 7 cities, as they kind of refer to it nowadays. But it also includes us up to Williamsburg, over Isle of Wight County and all that.
Any locality in the Hampton Roads Planning District Commission,
Oh, okay.
including the 7 cities, plus the 2 other cities that they conveniently forget about, which includes us and the city of Williamsburg.
Thank
All
you.
right. Any other questions of the chief? By the way, we're glad to have you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, there's a resolution. I need a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I propose a resolution to adopt a 2023 updated emergency operations plan for the city of Poquoson.
Okay.
Second.
All right, I have a motion made and seconded that we adopt the resolution. Any other concerns, comments? Any other questions of the chief? If not, Ms. Christie?
Councilwoman Emmett?
Aye.
Councilman Hux?
Aye.
Councilman Fye?
Aye.
Councilman Southall?
Aye.
Councilwoman Bunting?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Freeman?
Aye.
Mayor Hessel?
Aye.
Mayor, the motion carried by a vote of 7-0.
Thanks, Christie. Move on to item 6. It's a resolution making an appointment to the Board of Zoning Appeals. Someone have a name?
Mr. Mayor, I propose a resolution appointing Mr. Micah Miller to the Board of Zoning Appeals. His term expires August 31, 2025.
Okay.
I'll second that.
All right. All right, we have a motion made and seconded. We adopt the resolution. Any questions, any comments? If not, Ms. Christie?
Councilman Southall,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Freeman,
Aye.
Councilman Hucks. Councilwoman Bunting,
Aye.
Councilman Fye,
Aye.
Councilwoman Emmett,
Aye.
Mayor Hessel.
Aye.
Mayor, the motion carried by a vote of 7.
One everybody's been waiting for, the resolution canceling the second meeting of the month of November and December.
Mr. Mayor, I propose a resolution canceling the second meeting of the months of November and December.
All right, sir. Is there a second?
Second.
Somebody second. All righty, Ms. Christie?
Councilwoman Bunting,
Aye.
Councilman Fye,
Aye.
Councilman Southall,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Freeman,
Aye.
Councilman Hucks,
Aye.
Councilwoman Emmett,
Aye.
Mayor Hessel.
Aye.
Mayor, the motion carried by a vote of 7-0.
All right, thanks, Christie. We have a closed session. Mr. Vice Mayor, would you take us there, please?
Mr. Mayor, I propose we go into a closed session pursuant to Section 2-2.2-3711 Alpha 8 of the Code of Virginia, as amended, to discuss and to consult with legal counsel pertaining to specific legal matters requiring legal advice by counsel.
Okay.
Second.
All right, we have a motion made and second. We go to closed session, Ms. Christie.
Aye.
Councilman Hucks,
Aye.
Councilman Fye,
Aye.
Councilman Southall, Councilwoman Bunting,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Freeman, Mayor Hessel.
Aye.
Mayor, the motion carried by a vote of 7-0.
Thank you, Christie. And we'll be back.
Ready to go,
All
Mr.
righty,
Mayor?
we are reconvened from our closed session. We need to certify that, please.
Mr. Mayor, I certify that we met in closed session and only talked about the things that the law allows us to discuss.
Okay? All right, we have a motion made second that we certify our closed session. Ms. Christie?
Councilman Southall,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Freeman.
Aye.
Councilman Hux,
Aye.
Councilwoman Bunting,
Aye.
Councilman Fye.
Aye.
Councilwoman Emmett,
Aye.
Mayor Hessel.
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, the motion carried by a vote of 7-0.
All right, thank you, Christie. Mr. Wheeler?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a couple items. I just wanted to take a moment and thank and express my appreciation to all the folks that made the Seafood Festival such a success. That's a whole bunch of our staff and an even more community volunteers and of course, the members of our community as well who both participate and exercise patience with the large number of people we have. It went really well. The weather was as close to Chamber of Commerce weather as you could get, with the exception of just a few minutes of sprinkles on Friday night, enough to move the fireworks, but that was about it. And it was just a great event, and I thought Ferris wheel was a nice addition. Also, I know you all are going to talk about pickleball. I just want to tell you that I've, in addition to taking you over there to show you the facility in York County, I actually am a regular player over there now. And what I learned through that process was, having absolutely no background in it at all, I really thought that what we had already done to accommodate it at least was a good first start, and it probably was, but it should have been a jump start to something else. I'm very supportive of the concepts of what you're hearing. They're working, as you said earlier, to bring a recommendation for council's consideration at your December meeting.
All right, sir. Bud?
Yeah, well, first thing, I'd like to second the comments Randy just made. I didn't know he was a pickleballer also, okay? And I would like to thank everyone who came out here tonight to support their city government, especially pickleballers, to bring that to our attention. Having adult recreation is important as well as all the rest. I'd like to thank the people at home for paying attention to their government. And the city was well represented at the NASA open house this past. Charity was out there Thursday night, and I were out there Friday, and they really had a great open house. That put on a great show, and they showed us the things that they're doing. I was particularly impressed by astronaut Victor Glover, who's going to be the pilot on Artemis 2. He gave a couple of really good talks, okay? And he impressed me because he made some heart-rendering comments. Okay? He mentioned that he had spent, I think it was 107 days on the space station in the past couple of years, and he spent all of his time looking out the window of the Earth. And he said it blew his mind, okay, that looking back there, that ball that looked like a blue moon, okay, was home. And everything that he did and everybody who exists rests right back there. Okay? And he talked about how that severely impressed him. Okay? And it was particularly moving to me because I remember back on Apollo 15, Jim Irwin, okay, was impressed the same way. And when he came back from the moon, he became a preacher. Okay? And I know everybody has seen the pictures of the Earthrise from the backside of the moon, and if that doesn't impress you, it never will, okay? But astronaut Victor Glover gave a really good talk, and he discussed that, and it came from the heart.
Good, Bud. Thank you for that. Angie?
Thank you. Just like my colleagues said, thank you to the staff and all the volunteers who worked so hard over the weekend for the Seafood Festival. It was wonderful. When I was at the NASA open house, some of our neighbors in Hampton had given props to our Seafood Festival and just the size and how popular it was. Want to thank Chief Cates and the department and staff for the grant opportunities. I think the flock system is going to be great, and it's even better if it's paid for. The 16 Bulletproof Vests, wonderful. Pickleball, I'm really excited to play pickleball now. Thank you for the presentation. That makes me very excited. And I too look forward to having some more options for active adults within the city. And also, welcome to the Deputy Fire Chief. Thank you. That's all I have.
Okay, Angie, thank you. David?
Thank you, Gordon. I have no comment tonight.
Okay, Ms. Debbie?
Again, echoing the praises and the thanks for the city staff, the sponsors. I know you forget someone if you go through the agenda list of them, but sponsors, the vendors, the community members that came out, everyone that participates to make success. It takes everyone to make that, and very appreciative to everyone who has a hand in that. Also, pickleball, very excited about that. I have never played, but would love to, so looking forward to maybe having some opportunities to play as well. And election day coming up on November 7th. Please go out and vote, early vote, or show up on the 7th to vote as well.
Thank you, Debbie. Keith?
Yes, I wanted to thank, as far as the Seafood Festival, as I saw them, not only our own police department, but also they were being augmented by York Sheriff's Office and the Newport News Police Department. I thought it was pretty nice. I'm sure we compensated them for a little bit for their time and effort, but it was nice having their presence here. I appreciated it. Also, the city manager and I met with the Virginia Peninsula Food Bank on the 18th of the month and had a good discussion with them as to how we can move forward in getting more support. They're looking at a day and date change. We currently do the fourth Tuesday of the month, and we're going to probably move that up. It helps them because they have a lot of them that 1 week, and they can't support them as well. So if we do ours, there's a high likelihood that more food will be available to us, which is a good thing. So working on that, so after the first year, that'll probably happen. And speaking of which, the mobile food pantry is going to take place tomorrow morning at Parks and Rec Building at 10 o'clock, going until noon. If anybody would like to come and help out, it's going to be hosted tomorrow by the Poquoson Women's Club and the Poquoson Garden Club. So anybody would like to come out, be there about 8:30, help unload the truck and get things set up. And the last thing is that I can neither confirm nor deny that I even know a Kathy Fye and whether she plays pickleball. But a couple weeks ago, when the mayor called me and asked me if I'd look at it, I said no problem. And I spent the whole weekend working on about a 10-page report, because that's the way I do things, on pickleball and what it's all about. And I've since talked to a lot of people that have been to 2 Parks and Rec Advisory Board meetings that talk about that. And we are going to get together soon. I probably know more now about pickleball than I ever wanted to know about pickleball. But it's a lot of fun to learn about it. And of course, I've worked with both sides, both with those who are enthusiastic about pickleball, but also from the high school side of things. So we got to be able to balance both sides here, and we're planning on doing that.
All right, thanks, sir. Mr. Vice Mayor?
Well, everything has been said. Certainly agree with all of that. City staff just did wonderful, and all the volunteers in the Seafood Festival. Before that, I had attended a Virginia Municipal League meeting, which is kind of all the city council persons from all over the state or Commonwealth. And just to shorten it up a lot, we're just lucky to live here in this town. This is great. We are talking about having pickleball courts instead of trying to reduce shootings, crime, theft, and all that other stuff. And it's just, if you go to an organization like that and listen to everybody else's problems, we'll take our problems any day. So just thank everybody for our civility and just folks here. That's all.
All right, Kerry, thank you. This staff that we have just knocks it out of the park every day, every single day. And I want to be sure to thank them for that more often than I do. The other thing I would say, I found out, I didn't know what pile on meant with seafood, but I found out.
Did you get one?
I got 2. I got 2. And so, anyway, I suspect Joe will give me that tonight when I get home and warm that up. Okay, is anybody, anything else from council? If not, we need a motion to adjourn.
So move, Mr. Mayor.
Ooh, jump,
I'm sorry, comment, council meeting.
I'm sorry.
I attended the International Pickleball Contest in Naples, Florida, where the city has about 70 pickleball courts in a huge, big complex. And if you don't think it's a big deal, you go down there and see international competition with like 15,000 people, teams that are playing pickleball.
That's the first I heard about it when you told me about that.
Some event.
That's really something.
That sounds like something we need to go back to.
I'm going back.
All right. I was distracted. Do we have a motion to
There's a
adjourn?
motion on the floor.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, Ms. Christie.
Councilwoman Bunting?
Aye.
Councilman Fye?
Aye.
Councilman Southall?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Freeman? Councilman Hucks?
Aye.
Councilwoman Emmett?
Aye.
Mayor Hessel?
Aye.
Mayor, the motion carried by a vote of 7-0.
All righty, we are adjourned.